Hi, welcome back. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to get started into TinkerCad, how to log into the account, and some of the basic steps and procedures to kind of get you underway and give you a chance then to play a little bit and experiment within TinkerCad. Before I get started, just to review a few things. By now, you should have gone into your Schoology account, found our course, opened up the course, down into number 3, Digital Creator Strand. You should have registered for this strand, and you should have taken some time to go through the introductory slideshow. These are all steps that are going to lead you in the right direction to getting started in TinkerCad. If I open up the slideshow quick, by the way, over here in this far corner, you click on that button in the top right-hand corner. It's going to open you up in a new tab. When I get to the end of the slideshow where it says stop, now move to the next slide. I gave you a direct link to TinkerCad, so if you want to click on that, it will open you up into TinkerCad. You can make a shortcut if you want on your desktop. There's a variety of ways to get this so that you can access it easily from time to time. But anyway, when I log in, when I click on it, it should take me directly into my account because it's already been established. And you may have to take a little more work, may have to do a little bit more to get it going for you. But if you need some help with that, send me an email and I'll work with you a little bit on that. So here we are in TinkerCad. You'll see this is the home page. Okay, the important thing is over here in this top left-hand corner, that always gets you back to the home page. It always gets you to the start. You can see I can add a profile if I want, a little bit about myself. These are all the projects down below in the main part of the screen here that I've been working on, my recent designs. There's classes if you want to take on the top here, some gallery if you want to talk to other people. There's also some tutorials under Learn, okay, and those are very helpful as well. I'm not going to spend a lot of time there, but I think if you explore it on your own, you might find some things that will be helpful for you. The most important button right here is to create a new design. By the way, if I wanted to go back to another one, you see where I hover on it, it says tinker this. I can make some changes. I can open that old one up and start editing and working on that. Right at the moment, I'm just going to open up, create a new design. Once it fires up, you'll see that I have a work plane. This work plane, by the way, my 3D printer is right next to me, represents the 3D printer space, this work plane that your project is going to be put onto when we run the 3D printer. Okay, a couple things, just a few basic things. There's a lot to work on and a lot to learn, but to just get started, if this is your first time in TinkerCad, a few things just to point out to kind of push you on the way. First of all, I think the most important part happens to be in this bottom corner that people overlook a lot. It says Snap Grid, Edit Grid. That Snap Grid, if I click on it, okay, determines the size or the spacing of each of the lines on my work plane. What that means is that when I move my mouse, the mouse is going to move at a certain size. I like to have a very smooth mouse, and otherwise it's herky-jerky and jumps back and forth. You can turn off the grid, or you can keep it like I do on the smallest increment possible. In this case, it's saying 0.1 millimeter, very small. So now my mouse moves a little bit easier. The other thing you might want to adjust, okay, is the unit of measurement. I like imperial units or standard units, inches, feet, yards, mile. It defaults to millimeters or metric centimeters. I'm going to keep it on inches. I'm an inch kind of person. I understand it a lot better. Do what you like. Metric system, imperial system, doesn't matter to me. I'm going to update my grid. Okay, so now I'm going to move myself over here on the side here a little bit, get a little more space, see if that works. Still here? Over here on the right hand side, you see where I'm flagging over here, you're going to see all these different shapes. There's a little drop down menu. If I click on that, there's all kinds of different things and shapes and characters from letters, numbers, some things, dinosaur bones, different parts, and so forth. I'm going to stick right at the moment on basic shapes. I grab a box, I pull that box over to the work plane, and now I can start to edit and manipulate that box. If I see there's handles on this box, I see that there's a very small handle. If I grab it, it's going to pull that out, make it wider, make it longer. Notice the units, which I have been set on inches. Okay, is 2.8. If I want to edit directly, I can click on the number and I could put in, let's say, like 6, meaning 6 inches. If I add that now, it suddenly adjusted it to 6 inches. If I didn't like that, up top, there's do, undo. I can undo that. Okay. Once again, I'm going very quickly. If you feel like you need to stop and start the video, please feel free to do that at any point in time. Most people pick up on this really quick. One tip I'll give you is if I hold my shift key on a keyboard and I grab the box, that little box that I want to stretch, you notice now it moves and resizes uniformly. A really nice tip to work from. Okay. You also notice there's this little cone right on the top. I can use that to lift my object up and down off the surface of the work plane. You also notice there's some little handles here, so I could spin the block, move it in different directions. There's another handle going on here, so I can rotate this in a variety of different ways. Again, a lot to play with here. Okay, I'm going to leave you just at the moment, okay, to play a little bit. Before I go, I just want to point your attention to the top of the page here. Really important in the top left-hand corner. Right now, it needs a place on the internet. All of this work on TinkerCad is live, and so it needs an address. But what happens is it defaults to some goofy name. Eric Lula is mine. Well, first thing I want to do is change that name. I'm going to call it Mr. Ross's test video. Okay. So I changed it to Mr. Ross test video. That's what I'd like you to do. Rename it with your name a part of the project. Because when you send it to me, I know whose it is. Next, you'll see this little checkerboard right here. It says recent changes. If I click on that, okay, it opens up. I'm going to move myself over to here now. And you're going to see that there's a little gear in here. This gear is really important. This is the current design that I'm working on. And if I click on the gear, that's going to give me the opportunity to change it from private to public. Really important. If you plan on sharing your work with me and you want me to print it with the 3D printer, it needs to be changed from private to public. Otherwise, when you send me the file, I can't do anything with it and I can't open it. Okay? All right. So save changes. Now it's a public document. So if I send it, I can get it. Okay. Quick review. All right. When you first start in TinkerCAD, if you need to get back to, if you need to get a new design, work on changing the size of the snap grid, work in either metric or imperial, inches or millimeters. Shapes can be found over here on the right hand side. If you manipulate the squares, you can change the shape. Pressing the shape or the shift key, sizes uniformly. Remember to rename your project and make sure that you share it. If you want to get back to the home page, this little TinkerCAD block in the corner, by clicking that. Come on, internet. Takes me back to my home page. Okay, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to let you kind of experiment and play. Hopefully, if you've never used TinkerCAD, this has been a help. If it's been a while since you've been on TinkerCAD, take a few minutes, just kind of practice with this. It'll take some time. So I'm going to leave for now, and I'll probably maybe include another update on a few finer points as people start to explore and use Tinker a little bit more. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. and I'll try to help you out with it. Until next time, bye.